Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, I have not been as active on YouTube as I would like to for the last month or so now. And therefore I haven't put out as many videos as I normally do. In addition to that, I talked to Gray Man Prepping yesterday about our Monday live streams, and unfortunately right now Gray Man has something that he's going through on a personal basis, and in all honesty, I am extremely busy trying to get ready for this early winter that I believe we're going to have here in Fairbanks, Alaska. So please bear with me and with us on our Monday live streams. We will come back as soon as things level out. But now let's talk about a few news items that I think are very important for us to be abreast of. Because ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to the mainstream media, number one, you're not listening to the truth, in my opinion. That is. And whenever they do feed you the truth, it's only half truths in order to push their agenda onto you. And the first thing that I want to cover is this. It's National Preparedness Month, ladies and gentlemen, and how do we prepare? Well, in addition to knowledge and skills, we also prepare doing the things that you see in this picture right here, by getting stuff that we know we're going to need during a time when we just can't get those things on a regular basis. So if you want to go ahead and prepare with really good quality items, take a look at the links that I leave below, because those are companies that I trust that provide what I think is a great quality product at a good price. The FBI reveals that Iran hacked number 45's campaign materials and gave them to who? Of course, his opposition, because what foe of the United States would want someone like 45 in charge when they have puppets in charge right now? The AP is reporting that the FBI has uncovered evidence that Iranian hackers stole materials from 45 and gave them to this administration. Why would that be, ladies and gentlemen? Because they know that the only way that they can stay in power, or that their handlers can stay in power, is if they cheat themselves into another victory. In my opinion, that is. This is all my opinion, what I just told you. Now, Mr. Armstrong, who I've talked about on this channel a few times, has the same notion. Deep State knows it cannot bring in this VP to be the president by doing the same thing that it's done in the past. Let's just put it that way, ladies and gentlemen. So what are they going to do when 45 wins? They're going to either take us to war, they're going to give us a financial collapse, and here he's talking about taking us to war. And if you've listened to Charles Nenner in the past, Charles Nenner says that the next major war that we have, it's going to be casualties in the billions. Not millions, ladies and gentlemen, in the billions. So what do we do? What can we do personally, on a personal basis, to stop this? I believe nothing, because the powers that be, if they made a decision to bring us to war, they're going to bring us to war. So you must prepared. You must stay prepared the best as possible. Read things, read accounts of what people did during the Great Depression. Read accounts of what people did during the last Great War in order to survive. Now we have the cheap book in order for us to prepare for that next event. Should it never happen, would be the best thing that could happen. But ladies and gentlemen, do you really think that either a great financial collapse or a great war is not just around the corner? Well, if you don't think that that's about to happen, then ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is God bless you, and I hope that you're 100% right and that I am 100% wrong. Thank you, Genesis Gold Group, for sponsoring this video. I'm not a financial advisor, but the folks at Genesis Gold Group specialize in helping those who want to diversify their excess wealth by converting their fiat currency retirement plans into a plan that is backed by real money. So if you're in a position where you are wondering what you can do in order to diversify or insulate your wealth against what I like to call the inferno of inflation, give Genesis Gold Group a call, and they can provide you with the information that you need in order to make an educated decision. Legendary financial and geopolitical cycle analyst Martin Armstrong predicted less than a month ago that there would be another assassination attempt on number 45's life, and the deep state was going to do everything possible to start a war with who? With Russia, of course, the new boogeyman. Ladies and gentlemen, they always need to have a boogeyman. They always need to have someone to go to that will scare the bejesus out of the average person that consumes the mainstream media. Why? So that they can have the support that they need in order to send our young to a different country to try to take the lives of people that have done absolutely nothing to them. In the end, it will be as it was in Afghanistan. The only thing that will change is the number of people that had to give their lives, their minds, and their limbs. Do not allow them to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Do not allow them to send our young to die in some foreign country so that they and their friends can stay in power and rich on the backs of the American people. He was right on both counts, talking about Mr. Armstrong. All the chaos, debate, fraud, and push for World War III comes down to the deep state knows it cannot put this new person into office. They have to do everything they can in order to scare you into doing what you don't want to do. Armstrong says his Socrates computer program shows that the VP's real approval rating is only about 10%. And here they specify how it is that he was right on both counts. All the chaos, debate, fraud, and push for World War III comes down to the deep state knows that it cannot put this person into power doing it the right and fair way. Why? Because the American people have woken up. Now we need to wake up as to why it is that we cannot continue going to war to solve our problems. We have to pay the piper sooner or later. Armstrong says that his Socrates computer program shows that the VP's real approval rating is only about 10%. And that his computer models say that she is going to lose really big during the next contest, no matter how much they try to get away with it, ladies and gentlemen. He says just about everybody in politics looks at Socrates now because its track record on politics has been phenomenal for 30 years. They know what is going on. They know that she's going to lose, and they know that the only way that they can stay in power is to bring us to war, financial collapse, food supply, water supply. And he continues to say, my concern is they need to create war before January, if not even before this contest begins. If 45 does get in, they have to trap him into a war, meaning that they need to get us into a war before this contest begins, at the latest before the next inauguration. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything that we can do at all, is to try to resist going into another WAR. He says Trump represents a real threat to their power. If he gets in, the neocons are out. And those are the people that are really destroying this nation. Everyone thinks, oh, it's capitalism. First of all, we have no such thing as true capitalism here in the United States of America. There is no free market. Why? Because government says there is no free market. When they control the interest rates, when they control who can win and who can lose in the economy, there is no free market, ladies and gentlemen. It is these people in government that want everything for themselves and nothing for the rest of us that are making us go to war after war after war, that keep stealing our wealth through the power of inflation, taxation, and regulations. This time we can say, no, we're not going to war. You're not going to lie to us and get away with it anymore. But AP, you used to not be political, AP. You used to not talk about politics. What happened? This happened, ladies and gentlemen. Our country is being destroyed. And there comes a time where you have to put up a stand, where you have to talk about the things that are really important. Did we have these problems when 45 was in office? Did we ever have these problems, period, when we had a semblance, just a semblance of the rule of law? Because I believe that the rule of law to its majority has been abandoned for years, at least by the government. This is why I am now somewhat, I'm not full-blown political, because the system is corrupt from the inside out, but somewhat political because we have to be able to at least regain somewhat of a semblance of the rule of law. The city of Aurora, Colorado wants to assign police officers to apartment complexes where alleged gang members from Venezuela have resided, but the property owner has yet to accept the offer. Why is that? Why is that the property owner has yet to accept the offer? I have an idea. Maybe the property owner is being threatened. Maybe in order to enforce the law, you have to enforce the law. How many times have you seen Leos just go into places because they have a warrant, because they know that a law has been broken? Now they know that a law has been broken, but now it's up to the property owner whether they want to help or not. You cannot make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, I fully 100% endorse 45 to become 47, because under him, we had no new wars. Under him, people could go to the store and buy a week's worth of groceries for under $400. Under him, there was peace in the world. No new wars were started. There comes a time where you have to play grown up and see what's going on around the world. Why is this happening? Why are gangs taking over apartment buildings in the United States of America? Why is it that there are millions upon millions, tens of millions of people coming into this nation unchecked? Why is it? Because our leadership is rotten to the core and we need to change it. And you can blame me all you want for going on a rant, but what I tell you is what I truly feel. This country is at a fork in the road. We either choose to put the right people who is going to preserve our liberties in place, or we choose to continue to go down the same road that we've been going down for the last few years and just take a look at what's happened. Ask yourself 100%. Ask yourself, are you better off today than where you were 3 or 4 years ago? I know you hear it all the time. Are you better off today? Are you better off today? Ask yourself seriously, are you better off today? Can you feed your children as efficiently as you could a few years back? Can you put clothes on their back? Can you keep a roof over your head? Are your taxes gone up? Have your property taxes gone up? What have you gotten for all of that money that you're putting into government? What have you gotten, ladies and gentlemen? Maybe you or the average person hasn't gotten much for all of the money that they've taken from you, but this is where all of the money that they've taken from you is going. This is where the inflationary forces are sending your hard-earned labor, all right, to the stock markets, so that the people that own the stocks can become more rich. So the people that own the assets can become more rich. That is where the government is sending your labor, your wealth, with their policies. Futures ripped to all-time highs after Fed rate cut as yields, commodities jump. I told you all a while back that when they cut interest rates, you're going to see inflation come back, and it's going to come back with a vengeance. The price of things that you need in order to prepare now have actually found a plateau, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a great time to prepare. The price of the dollar is going to continue to lower, and it's going to continue to go down. Right now, we are well below the 200-day moving average, and it can only go down. Yes, it may go sideways now and then, but look at this. This is a double top right here, which means that it's going to go down at least, at least this much, probably down to here. It's going to break 100 here pretty soon. And why is that important? Because the lower that the dollar gets in value, the more that it's going to cost you to buy stuff at the store. The more that it's going to cost you to sustain your standard of living. And just take a look at the price of gold. It actually broke 2,600 earlier this morning. 2,682 cents. And it's come down just a tiny bit from the time that I've started making this video. But you can see right here that it's hit 2,600. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just the beginning. You remember a while back in May or so, middle of May, I said, hey, once gold breaks from here, it's going to go up to at least here, right? At least there. And look at that. It's gone up to there, but this is where I really think it's going to go before it's really off to the races. All right, I may be 100% wrong. I'm not a technical analyst, by profession. I just do it as a hobby. But I see gold hitting before the end of this year around 2,900. Why? Because they're lowering interest rates, ladies and gentlemen. They're continue to spend like drunken sailors. Wait until you see what the deficit is going to be for this year at the end of this month, for this fiscal year, right? Wait till you see what the deficit's going to be. Gold is going to continue to go up. You know why? Because gold's job is to preserve your purchasing power. It's to preserve your wealth. With silver, which went over $31 once again, I believe silver will also go into a consolidation pattern and then will shoot straight up. Silver always follows gold because people like to wait till the last minute to prepare. not only with preps, but also to prepare their wealth not to be confiscated by the government. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I have for today's video. Again, thank you very much for all of your support. Thank you for joining in. Here in the wintertime, maybe we'll have a little bit more time to put out a little more content, maybe do a live stream now and then. But life has gotten very, very busy for myself and for Gray Man as well. I hope you all understand. I hope you take advantage of all of the links that I'll leave on a pinned comment so that you can get as prepared as possible. And ladies and gentlemen, you don't need anything fancy to prepare. Right? Those links that I leave, those are things that make your life a lot better during a grid down, making sure that you have clean water, making sure that you have food put away for emergencies, etc., etc., etc. But you can survive by putting away rice and beans and a few spices. You can survive by putting away candles. It's just how well do you want to survive into some crisis that may last a month, 2 months, or God forbid, 6 months without power or clean water or the availability of food. That's all that is. But let me tell you that you can survive with all the fancy stuff. So if you don't have the excess wealth in order to get all that fancy stuff, you can still survive. Do not go into some kind of a depression pattern saying, oh, everything is over. No, it's not. You can do it. Just have faith, do the right thing, be a good person. And even if you're short on some things, God will provide. But you have to prepare. Having said that, have a great day. God bless every one of you. God bless America. Thank you very much, Genesis Gold Group, for sponsoring this video. I'm Alaska Prepper. I am out.